Dr. Pieczenik's our guest. Your calls are coming up. Doc, finishing up with what's happening with Putin. I mean, I know that there were deals with Yeltsin for the so-called collapse of the Soviet Union. I know that there were deals with Putin early on. Then he went after a bunch of the oligarchs, European oligarchs and others. And my whole issue is I don't really see Russia trying to expand anywhere. And I don't want a unipolar world. I mean, I want to see sovereign nations out there operating off their trade. I don't like communist China. That's who I really see as being just nightmarishly oppressive. I get they've got a huge population, but I mean, are you endorsing the toppling of Putin and putting something else in?
Yes. I think it's time for Putin to leave, but I don't have to endorse anything. Basically, what's happening is Putin has spent 14 years in the Soviet and Russian unit. He was trained by Marcus Wolf. By the way, he was a Jewish spy master who was appointed by Stalin and Marcus Wolf.
He was the head of the Stasi.
He was head of Stasi, but also, you have to understand, Putin was really trained by Stasi in East Germany. That's why he and Merkel really get along very well. But Putin has no strategic sense, and he is becoming too counterproductive to really world trade. And what we're interested in, and quite frankly, America's not interested in war. We're interested in world trade. And as you said, China is expanding very quickly. They're expanding in the Indian Ocean, the Middle East, and Africa, and world trade. And we want to compete with that. And Putin,
hey, by the way, sometime I'll tell the whole audience a story. One time they said they wanted me on like Interfax, national Russian television. And when they punched up the Skype for the interview, the video feed was this big, giant government hall. And all these like obvious FSB people, but like the brain bugs, not like the knuckle draggers, all like interrogating me. It wasn't for TV, asking about you and why you came on my show. And I said, I don't know. But then they started getting real paranoid, thinking I was an agent or something. What do you want to say to them?
Oh, I don't want to say anything. I want to say, it means all the best to you. You know what you have to do. You take out Putin, and the rest is you want your money, and you want to be able to come to the United States. You want to be able to come to Switzerland and Europe. So get rid of Putin. That's it.
Well, that was a couple of years ago that happened, but it was really weird.
Well, it continues. Alex, it's always continuing. Russia, since Catherine the Great, has always been in internal turmoil. And remember, the Soviet Union was 122 countries. Russian Federation is 11 time zones right now. It is huge. And Putin can't control it. I mean, economically, it has to develop beyond oil and gas, and it can't.
Yeah, but the Russians like a strong man, and he makes them feel good. All the polls show that.
Well, that's up till now, until they get very hungry and they realize that they don't have the Germans coming in for technology. They don't have the American investments on technology to extract the oil out of the Bering Straits, and they don't have their access points out of the Crimea. Now, the one thing we did agree to when the takedown of the Soviet Union is that Crimea belongs to Russia. And we never argued over that point. And they knew that. The Russians know that. Unfortunately, we should never have ever made Crimea a point, because that's their only exit point for their...
Well, no, it's meant to force them into a larger conflict.
That's correct. It was agitation propaganda. Rightfully or wrongfully, our CIA effectively created agitprop and economic warfare.
Well, here's the deal. I don't like the government agitpropping my guns, my property, or my children. And that's why I don't like the people running this country. And that's why, I just don't support anything they're up to.
Well, remember, we're a democracy and we were based on a revolution, Alex. That revolution is always innate in our genetic code.
I agree. We should take the country back.
Well, we are taking it back. As I said to you, the devolution of power is negating the two parties. We don't need the Democrats and we don't need the Republicans. And quite frankly, we don't need the president.
This has been one of our best talks. Thank you, Dr. Pieczenik. Hope you're having a nice week. StevePieczenik.com.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. Today I'd like to talk about the war on women. You've experienced and heard about the benefits of super male vitality. Now, the new formula has arrived. Introducing the new Super Female Vitality. I have specifically designed this formula to help the body naturally regulate itself without the use of artificial hormones. Key ingredients chosen from the highest quality sources. Each of these ingredients works synergistically with the female body in order to maximize overall vitality. You've heard the reviews and the feedback on how the original Super Male Vitality has revitalized relationships. Now, both the man and the woman can have the revitalization in their own bodies with Super Male Vitality and Super Female Vitality. Secure your Super Female Vitality today from our limited stock at InfoWarsLife.com.